Podcast doesn't start until all of us are drunk.
No, it doesn't. Start drinking.
Well,
Curtis, I think you got up, but I said I don't have to be the designated podcast driver for this one.
No,
So.
you're good. You're good. I got it. I got it for today. Got it till next Tuesday.
Till next Tuesday.
Yeah. All right. I just realized everybody can hear us while the waiting screen is going. I am such an amateur.
A word?
I'm a amateur. Yeah. All right. Welcome back to Dear Video Games, our open letter to our favorite hobby.
Yes.
My name is Curtis, and I love video games, write about video games, do all that crazy stuff. And, of course, my co-host is here, Voltaire Slapadelic, Bay Area rapper, producer.
Bay Area rascal, too. I guess.
Rascal, yeah. The only rapper who hasn't been shot in California yet. No, knock on wood.
Whoa.
And then today we are joined by a very, very special guest. I'm on the podcast with him on SGO. I want to name a lot of stuff that you do. So you do stream Persona, but I want to say you stream Splatoon also. I'm not 100% certain.
So Persona is the big thing right now for sure. But I am a creator of content.
Editor for Sports Gamers Online.
I'm an editor. Well, allegedly, I'm an editor for Sports Gamer Online. I'm a podcast host. I don't know. You know what? There's a lot. I'm a raconteur. You know what I mean?
Jake Jacobson, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo! There's not enough words in the English language. You know what I mean?
Our very first host on this podcast that me and Voltaire have been trying to carry. Been trying to carry it.
I'm sure y'all have been doing fine.
We've been
I don't
doing
feel
good.
like y'all need to put yourself down right at the top. Like you don't have to bury each other to have a
you're
guest
right,
on the
you're
show.
I was trying to tell you earlier that we have I think we're more of the male counterpart to this podcast, but there's a female counterpart to this podcast called Dear Video Games, and it's these two girls. I've watched multiple episodes. They're really good at what they do, and I feel like we're just their male counterpart, honestly. Like they have all the subscribers, the subscriptions, everything like that. Everybody listens to theirs, and we're just like here, a couple of guys who just like video games.
I feel like you should reach out, see if y'all can get some kind of sick collabo going. You know what
I think
mean?
that's a good idea.
The Dear Video Games megacast.
Megacast, yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The super, what do they used to call when WWE, hi, this is for nobody in the podcast probably, but when WWE used to combine, they used to have their two shows be split into Raw and SmackDown.
Right.
And then every like 4 weeks or something, they would have the Raw SmackDown Super Show where it was just everybody was on one show. So
I remember that.
what I'm suggesting is like Super Show is just I think you could just tack Super Show onto pretty much any kind of media as long as you're doing it with someone else. You know what I mean?
I thought you were suggesting Voltaire get in the ring with one of those women. So
well, no, I don't think. I mean, like, I don't, I don't know Voltaire's training. I don't know if he's got Voltaire. I don't know what kind of belts you got or like.
he's a high flyer. You
know,
can't tell.
He's a high flyer. No, I mean, look. Well, I can only see a little bit of him. You know, it's hard to get a really feel of someone when you're looking at their face and their shoulders. You know? I don't want to make guesses.
I'm just floating up here.
That's incredible. That would be an incredibly popular wrestling gimmick, I think. It's just floating person. Yeah, nobody's tried that.
I am really excited to have Jake on here because there's been a lot of times on the SGO podcast where me and you start getting into like, deeper into like certain video game debates or like video game conversations. And we're like, oh, we have to stop because we have to talk more about sports games. So I'm really excited for this. So Jake, off the top, since you're new here, what have you been playing? Something we've asked you multiple times on the.
I feel like, it's a new show, new audience. Let me introduce you to a little digital card game I like to call Marvel Snap. I'm playing a lot of Marvel Snap because it's a really good game to play when you have a job that you're that you're commuting to all the time, you know, 4 days a week. I don't know how much you know about digital card games, either of you, I suppose.
I played. I remember playing a long time ago the Yu-Gi-Oh one that was really difficult. But that was on like
one of the
PlayStation
older
2.
games.
Yeah, it was like way older.
Forbidden. I bet you're thinking of Forbidden Memories because that game is bad.
I remember it being bad.
Game.
I played some of those like RPGs where like the whole mechanics are based around cards, but I don't think that's really the same.
What are the deck build? Like a deck building roguelike?
Yeah.
Like a Slay the Spire or something like that?
That's literally the game I was trying to think of.
Yeah. That's the game. I mean, that's the
like that. Yeah.
That's the. I don't want to get ahead of our topics here, but if you want a game to play for the holidays, you should buy Slay the Spire because because they made a game that popularizes the deck building roguelike genre, except that it's also the best. Also, nobody will ever make one that's better than the first one. Like they got it in one.
I've never heard of a roguelike card
those
game?
Elements or games that I'm really into on their own, but then I kept seeing footage of it, and it was on Game Pass, and I was like, I guess I'll give it a shot. And I was like, this is actually hella good.
Walter, have you played Gwent? Haven't you played that? You haven't played that?
I played The Witcher, but every time someone was like, "Do you want to play Gwent?" I'm like, "No."
I'm like, no,
get away from me.
I'm here to play. I'm here to kill a monster, maybe.
Yeah. I'm here to kill a monster.
Nothing about the bog winch. Then get out of my face.
Right. Yeah. No, but Marvel Snap is a really intelligently designed digital card game, which is itself a genre of card game that Hearthstone really kind of popularized as a way to play trading card games. Basically, they are each game of Marvel Snap goes until turn 6 and then ends. The two exceptions are there's a location that causes the game to end early on turn 4, and then there's another location that causes the game to last one more turn and end on turn 7.
So these games like kind of long or
no, they're incredibly quick.
Okay.
I take like I'm probably on the train for like 25-30 minutes every morning on the way to work. I can get in like 8 games of Marvel Snap on the train. Like,
I think that's quick. A good thing.
They're incredibly quick games. To its strength. There's a lot of depth and decision making still. But everything else about it is just streamlined. Decks are 12 card decks.
Gotcha.
You have from 1 to 6 mana. They call it energy in this game. You get 1. You start with 1. Turn 2, you get 2. Turn 3, you get 3. Cards cost X amount of mana, have different effects. The thing that makes it interesting is that they needed a mechanic to bring chance into the game.
Yeah.
Because the deck list is so small that when you build a deck, it's fairly consistent. Like you're going to see 80% of your deck every game because there's just you're not drawing a lot of cards.
I think that's one thing that a lot of people really that would drive people like in is the fact that like it's not as long as like most card games. Like I've seen like when I played that Yu-Gi-Oh game, I remember spending like 3 hours on it.
It's it's so bad. But also Yu-Gi-Oh games are just long. They have like an actual Yu-Gi-Oh client now, Yu-Gi-Oh Master Duel. Yeah. And those games are long. Like they're long. And this is the strength of Marvel Snap is that everything about it is and this is not an intentional pun, but everything about that game is incredibly snappy. Like your like turn timer is like maybe 30 seconds. Do you know what I mean? Like 35 seconds. Yeah. And like because it's such a low mana game, you don't really need like that much time even. Like it's a totally reasonable timer. But it does the same thing that Pokemon. I don't know if you guys know much about Pokemon Unite. Pokemon Unite is a Pokemon MOBA, which is the genre of game that League of Legends is. Right.
I remember hearing about that.
But the thing about Pokemon Unite is that a game lasts 10 minutes. Like Whereas like a bad game of League of Legends, you cannot surrender until the 20-minute mark. You can play 2.5 games of Pokemon Snap or Pokemon Unite in one bad game of League of Legends. Like it's a similar thing. Like it's such a big hook of just being like, hey, these aren't very long. So if you're in a game and it's bad to be in, you could just you're not. It's okay. We'll get you into another one that's better. Marvel Snap, that's even more like. It's even more because you can literally leave a game of Marvel Snap whenever you want. So if it's turn 2 and the vibes are off, you could just leave and start a new one. Like you can hit the retreat button and just be like, okay, cool, great. That one sucked. It's turn 3. Everything's terrible. I'm losing already. I'm out of here. I'm gonna go. Like I'm just gonna go home.
And where can people play that? The Marvel Snap. Where can they play that one at? Is it on a Game Pass?
So it's a mobile game.
Oh, it's a mobile game. Got you.
It's a mobile game, which is the most incredible way to play it because it uses the haptic rumble. It uses haptic rumble for the phone in a way I've never experienced. It's like actually incredible. But also it's on Steam and it's free. It's a free to play game.
Yeah,
so
cool.
Like,
but you probably recommend it for mobile. Because it gives you that haptic feedback, gives you that more immersion.
Either way, like I play it when I come home. I play it on Steam also.
Oh, okay.
That if you link if you sign up on mobile with a Google, I think a Google account, which is one of the options, you can link up your progress with your Steam file too. Nice, so like you don't have to worry about having 2 separate things. But yeah, that's mostly what I've been playing lately. I've been playing Pokemon Scarlet.
So I would say
well,
like Voltaire, you've been playing that also then, right?
I have, yeah. I've been playing Violet. I was actually just playing it
on the OLED
while we were doing
on
all the technical difficulties.
All right.
While you were hard at work getting the show to run, I was
thank you.
Just sort of moseying about in the desert.
Well, so how do you feel about it now? I know last week we talked about the technical issues that people have been going on. The FPS, the frames in large towns. Seemed like the game was slowing down a little bit.
About it so far.
You said what?
You were asking how I feel about it so far? You could have for like a second.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I was asking you from last week. We were talking about like how the frames in large towns kind of slowed things down. Is that still present or?
It's like I said, I haven't seen it quite as bad as some people are describing. But there is a little bit of that here and there. I don't think.
Oh. He cut out.
He's back.
If you played Arceus at all, but like
yeah, I did.
Sometimes way in the distance, like the bird Pokemon would just kind of be like 0 frames, so sort of going around in a circle, you know. And you get a little bit of that. It's like in like the one thing that's the most noticeable is sometimes and this isn't as often anymore, I don't think. But like when the levels are going up or when the HP bars are going down, there'll be some weird stuttering, you know, where it'll just it'll not go and then it'll go, you know what I mean? But I haven't noticed any huge glaring issues, at least not yet, you know, knock on wood or whatever.
Should I still wait to play it or should I?
I mean, I totally believe people when they're saying that they're getting all these issues. I'm not saying, you know what I mean? I think it's sort of a luck of the draw. I don't know if it would have anything to do with it being on the OLED, like, you know, but.
Well, so I'm curious I'm curious as to whether you playing on the OLED is like actually making your performance better, because I feel like I'm having draw distance issues on a regular Switch, like on a docked Switch, like all like 24/7, like the whole time I'm playing, basically.
I mean, there's definitely some pop in and stuff, but it's not so bad that I would say that it's like terrible. I still think the game is for the most part pretty, you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't know. And maybe I just don't notice it as much because I'm, you know, my ADHD is just like, oh, you know, cute little guys running around. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it could be a number of things.
Well, so I think the fact that if you get too far away from a Pokemon, it moves at like 10 FPS is my favorite part of the game. Actually, I think it's funny every time I see it. It's so good. It's so funny. It makes me laugh. I've played through the whole story at this point, and I'm about to do like grinding to level competitive guys, and like every time I see every time I see like a Voltorb rolling at 10 frames per second, it's so funny every time.
Yeah, the flying when it's like that is great.
Oh, like the stutter flying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very good.
The fact that you guys have, especially you, Jake, the amount of time that you guys are putting into this game, it's not bothering you enough for you to be like, I'm done with this. Like, it isn't a cyberpunk situation that I had.
It's fun the entire time you're playing it. It's just it's just a very fun game.
Right. So that's the thing is like this might be one of the best Pokemon games they've ever made.
Oh my goodness.
Like in terms of like what they are doing with the story that they're telling, in terms of like character, right? Not just like character design, because like Sword and Shield had zero plot, but it had plenty of character design. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're doing like great work with character growth and character writing. Like there are all kinds of like you have like a Persona style like thing where you hang out with your teachers and like progress. Right. Yeah. And you like progress, you like become closer with the teachers. Like there's all kinds of stuff that if they had just spent 8 more months making this game not look like butt garbage, it would be like the single best Pokemon game they've ever made, but they just didn't do that part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think if you've seen footage of the game, Curtis, if you've seen footage of the game, Curtis, and you can get over how it looks visually, I think it's totally worth playing right now, because I think that the actual experience of playing through the Pokemon game is very good.
I've seen footage. Yeah, and I've seen footage of it, and I'm like, oh man, that does not look good. But I think my threshold for what I can handle is probably up there with you guys. So I think when I finally pick it up and play it, I think I'll be fine with it, just like you guys, and probably have a lot of fun with it. Of course, I've been just trying to get through God of War.
I mean, I still like playing PS2 games and N64 games.
Yeah.
If you ever go back
Oh, there you cut out again. It's probably because I keep messing with my freaking. I keep messing with my like my Google over here, trying to get like some stuff up for us to talk about next. Am I still
frozen?
No, you're good. You're
good. It's pretty momentary, but it just keeps happening.
Yeah.
What you got to be doing now is just moving all the time so that we get some cool like freeze frames. You know
yeah.
That's just professional. That's professional. Tip.
Yeah.
Pro tip. Move around on the webcam all the time.
All the time.
Eyesight is based on movement.
So I'm just getting through God of War. I'm loving it so much. It's so good. It is so good. I love how God of War
How many times have you wept openly?
Oh, the opening scene was
the very beginning.
The very beginning was tough because I didn't expect it. I was like, oh, I'm about to cry some thug tears right now. Whew, this is not, and it's the performance. I think that makes it.
There's a moment similar to that.
Yeah.
Then I'm not going to get into any details at all.
Okay.
There's a moment similar to that, in the new Pokemon games.
Really?
Yeah.
I think a Pikachu would make anybody die.
No, he's right. You get they play kind of into. I don't want to say too much about it. They kind of play into like a story trope. And then you get kind of a twist on it that's like actually pretty, that like turns this part of the story into actually like a pretty emotional story beat. So
yeah, I did not expect it coming from a Pokemon game. I was just like,
Ain't it cool that like games that don't have dialogue can still make you feel that way, like Persona? Well, Persona has. I mean, they have voice acting.
Persona's got a lot of dialogue.
Yeah, I'm not dialogue in the same. I mean, like voice acting.
Persona's almost exclusively dialogue.
Yeah, it's exactly that. Yeah, my bad. I meant to say.
I know
like
what you mean.
Acting.
Yeah.
And there is parts in Persona that have the voice acting and things like that. But I know Pokemon is mainly just the dialogue you're reading.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally.
One thing that sort of surprised me was there isn't any voice acting, even in the cutscenes.
I don't think that's going to change at this point. I mean, if this is a mainline Pokemon game, that still doesn't have it.
I just would have expected, they didn't have it in Arceus either. So I mean,
it feels like at this point they just need to commit to never doing that.
Never doing it.
Yeah, I mean now it's a choice, and it's like I can respect that. But
yeah.
I would figure this would be when they made the jump because even Zelda has voice acting now.
So you're enjoying God of War?
Yeah. God of War, it does a really good job of like being open. Like it's like a open world linear game. It's so weird. It's like linear, but still very open for how big the areas are. And they're so diverse within multiple realms. And I'm starting to go off the beaten path a little bit and starting to like do the other things. Like the side quests are very much, they feel like main quest, and they hit harder. They probably hit the same as main quest, and I really enjoy that. Builds up character, and with a lot of the side characters, even though a lot of these side characters you already know from the first game, they're just dealing with their own issues in this world, and I think it's really cool, like especially with Freya, like they bring in her brother and all that, the family drama, things, stuff like that.
Giving so much depth to these characters that, like, you know, definitely had depth in the first game, but like, you know, even like the comic relief characters get their like moments and stuff. You know what I mean? And I just
and it's at the right time that comic relief comes in.
Yeah, and it's like,
Jake, Voltaire actually play tested the game. He play tested God of War before it came out without telling me.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's very true.
I had to not say anything about it for like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're under NDA. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I got to just play the whole game, the whole story from beginning to end. And,
Nice.
It was fucking sweet. That's how it sounds like. That's how much I like the game. It's I got to play it, and actually they gave me money to do it. And then I still paid the $80 for the PS5 special edition.
He's like, here's your money back.
That's pretty sick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question then. So I assume that means you have both also played the God of War reboot, right? I guess it's not a reboot. God of War parentheses whatever year it came out. Yeah, 2018.
Yep.
So I haven't played either. The interesting thing to me about God of War 2018 was the fact that was this idea that Kratos is kind of a god out of water, fish out of water, right?
Yeah.
He is like a big part of the early like drive of the game is this idea that Kratos has been like living in secret in the woods out here, and like a god from another pantheon has shown up and been kind of like, I know who you are. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, that is what the first game's about, basically.
I assume that I mean, like, I assume that sure, yeah. I assume that feeling is gone from this one, right? Because like, is there any, like, what is it about God of War Ragnarok that like, is there anything in that game that kind of matches that? Like, like, is there anything in this second game that like utilizes this idea that like Kratos is just like a creature from a different world, or is it mostly just that like he's already here now and like
it definitely leans into that in like a different way, where it's like it's focusing more on like Atreus. I guess you would say it's like kind of a coming of age story for him almost, and it's like and from that, Kratos is sort of this kind of like, he sort of takes on the role of like, you know, I gotta be a dad now or whatever, you know, and like and it makes for some really like just they sort of are able to take all the stuff that happens in the first game to a more to like its next logical step, and then to its, you know, where you would think things would conclude, like it.
Yeah, basically what he's saying.
Best writing I've seen in a while, like TV or video games or otherwise. Like, Sony should get the people who make their video games to make their movies. I'm gonna say it again and again.
Yeah, you're absolutely head on. It's more of like a story of Kratos finally stepping back and saying, I have to quit, you know, having sex with goddesses and killing gods and just be a father, and I have to raise another god who is going out of control, who's trying to find his own way. And you see all those logical, like you said, that logical step of like, all right, like I gotta teach him this way, I gotta teach him that, and it's more of like a father and son story. This game is now, so it's a completely different game from like the original, but they use the original trilogy and more to kind of fuel the story ahead. That's the best way I could put it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So really good stuff. Really good stuff.
And one of the best games I've seen at balancing the heavy emphasis on storyline and cutscenes but then the actual video game part is still really fun and good, you know, because a lot of times
yeah.
it's either one or the other, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's nice to be like, oh man, I'm crying, I'm weeping from the cutscene, and then I'm just really killing just a bunch of people, you know.
That's a balance that
fun to
Sony
do.
is needs to make sure they hit every time, because
Yeah.
the Last of Us
They
is
don't always hit it,
very
but when they do, it's you know.
yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah, The Last of Us is very like simulation, with the action thrown in there, but it feels like a cinematic experience compared to God of War. This is more of like a game. It feels like more of like a game. Of course, it's a game, but you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah.
It makes you feel
Yeah, I get what
like
you're saying.
Spider-Man.
Dude, I did not know we were already like 30 minutes, just about 30 minutes in, and I have not mentioned that this is our Christmas episode. I'm drinking eggnog. This is great. Everybody has sweaters, so Merry Christmas to everybody. And he'll be back. Voltaire will be back. I got Jake here to relieve Voltaire from freezing. So I want to ask you guys, what is a good game to play during the holidays? You could say games like The Division, maybe like Skyrim because there's snow. But what is a good game to play during the holidays?
Do you want it? Yeah. Do you want it to be thematic or?
Are there Christmas games? I guess.
I think there's more like Christmas DLCs. Like I think there's like in the Saints 4, there's like the Saints Save Christmas, which is just stupid.
There's a video game coming up called I Am Jesus Christ that looks pretty good.
Does it look pretty good? Does it look?
Is that
pretty
really
good?
a game, or you like just joking?
Yeah, I got an email. I get
It's a
emails
real
about
thing.
it because
I
of the
saw
time
that.
I accidentally used my real email address for E3 last year.
Oh my goodness, that is hilarious. I actually have a bit of a list here if you guys have played some of these
Did you
games.
check it twice?
Yeah, sure.
Good one.
Yeah.
That was good.
Curtis
great.
knows when I'm awake, which is pretty wild. And I don't love
She
it.
watches you when you're sleeping.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of unspoken sort of.
Highly inappropriate.
Yeah.
Dead Rising 4. I didn't know
Okay.
this kind of had a Christmas part.
Does it happen during Christmas?
I don't.
Is it like a Die Hard thing?
I think
Oh,
there's
maybe
like just maybe like a section of the game where it's a holiday
Is that the one that's
season.
at a mall?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of Christmassy, right?
It's set in a rebuilt mall during the winter holiday season. So yeah, it's
Bam,
just kind
there
of
you
a
go.
holiday game, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go. So
There you go.
nobody's played Dead Rising? Or
I
what is it?
remember from
Yeah,
back
Dead
in the day. I
Rising.
remember it as the game where you should kill a bunch of zombies in the mall.
Yeah.
Like that one movie where
Yeah.
they did that.
Yep.
Batman Arkham Origins took place.
Oh yeah, that has the Christmas thing, right? Or it is
Oh yeah, really? I forgot about Batman Arkham Oranges.
Oranges?
Yes, sir. I forgot about Arkham Origins.
Forgot
Is that
about
the-
Arkham Oranges.
Yeah, Arkham Oranges, the orange tree growing simulator. based
Yeah.
on
Is that the
Arkham.
one where is that like who is the bad guy of Arkham Origins?
Is it Scarecrow
Is it?
in that one?
No, I don't. It's
If you think about it, it's Batman.
yeah, if you think about it, it's Batman. Oh, plot on Christmas Eve. Wow, yeah, word. Oh, it's Black Mask. That's right, because it's like I don't know, man. It's like that game was weird. But go on. I'm sorry.
LOL says Yakuza 0. Have you guys played Yakuza?
I played. What one did I play? I think I did play Yakuza 0.
I still have
I
yet
am
to play a Yakuza game.
You should
This
play
game's
Yakuza.
hilarious.
It's the greatest
so
video
fun.
game story ever told.
It is
Okay.
so. It goes from 0 to 100. Just you will get whiplashed because it'll do these like somewhat serious issues where it's like the landlord is trying to gentrify the neighborhood or whatever, and then the very next moment you're just like beating the shit out of some teenager, and then an old lady comes up to you and says like thank you for saving me and gives you like a half-eaten candy bar, and it's like this game has everything. There's everything.
Yeah,
that's
it's
in
got
this
everything
game.
for everyone.
It's beautiful.
I
There's
thought
chicken in it.
you was about to say you're about to beat up this old lady. I was going to say, wow, I'm about to play this
You
game.
probably could.
No, you teach a dominatrix how to do her job better. Like there's so much. Like, this game's got something for everyone.
Wow.
The bosses are absurd, yeah.
Wow. This is
pretty
something
good.
I definitely got to try out at. So I'm pretty sure it's on
Yeah.
Game Pass. Pretty sure.
I think all of them are, yeah.
Man.
I think so. Yeah. Persona 5 is a Christmas game because you do well, spoilers for Persona 5 if you're watching me play through it live and have never played the game before. You do the final dungeon on Christmas Eve. So
that I did not know that, because after 30 hours I said this game is great. I'm done playing it now.
Cool.
I was like, I'm done.
What if you played it every day for 10 months instead? You should give it a try.
You know what? If it had to be that game, I wouldn't worry about it. But if it was like Dark Souls 1, I'd be like, oh no, oh no, oh no.
What else you got on your list?
Animal Crossing, New Horizons, of course. Animal Crossing.
Yeah, all right, that's a good one.
Of course, that's a good one to play.
Of course.
My wife and I always put on like at least when during quarantine and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We would do our New Year's Eve on Animal Crossing.
That is so freaking adorable. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That is so like wow. Sims. Now I'm getting this list from GameSpot, but I can think of a few things real quick. What?
Yeah.
No,
keep going.
The Sims 4 has the holiday pack. You can do like you can do like during like Christmas time, like you can like give people gifts, and then they have like New Year's after that. Like it's really cool. Has anybody played Disney Dream Light Valley?
That's the Disney Animal Crossing, right?
Yeah, I guess is it like Animal Crossing?
That's how. That's one. Yeah, I've heard of it described as basically Disney is trying to make Animal Crossing.
Oh,
it's not exactly it, but you do like find Disney characters and move them into an island, and then you improve the island. And
when I first saw this game, I was like, "Oh my god, Kingdom Hearts!" And then I was like,
"Oh, raccoon that runs a store."
There's a raccoon that runs a store. Yeah, a fox sells you fake paintings.
A fox sells fake paintings.
Elsa's there. So like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought this game was a Kingdom like a Kingdom Hearts thing when I first saw it. I was like, "Ooh," but it's not.
Is Kingdom Hearts a Christmas game?
No. Oh, there's Nightmare Before Christmas in there.
Hearts a Christmas.
Who knows what happens in those games?
Well, how much time do you guys have?
I don't know how long on average is your podcast?
An hour.
We can. All right, let's start now then. Let's get going.
So actually, Xehanort was learning how to, control the heartland. No, I'm playing. It's not.
Did either of you guys ever play Elf Bowling? Elf Bowling is a Christmas game. It's like It's like a late 90s Flash game where you were Santa Claus and you bowled and the pins were elves and they like said sassy stuff to you.
If it was a Flash game, like something you play on like E-Bombs World or whatever those websites were called back in the day, then I probably played it in school as a child and don't remember it.
That game sounds mean.
That's my Christmas game. This is my recommendation. See if there's somewhere you could still play Elf Bowling.
There's a PS5 version.
Elf Bowling the movie? No way.
There's a movie.
Oh, this 2006?
That is crazy. That sounds mean, by the way. That whole thing.
Ain't no way. It's just bowling, bro, with elves.
Yeah, but you're like smacking the elves with a bowling ball.
They're like cool with it, maybe. I don't remember exactly. It's been a long time since I played elf bowling.
Elf's like, get your ass in that bowling pin and let's do it. I mean, Santa's like, just let's do it.
Have you seen how mean people are to the Animal Crossing villagers they think are ugly? Like,
I heard about that. Yeah.
I thought they would just neglect them and then they'll leave.
Sometimes they'll actively bully them.
This is what I'm saying. I'm saying you can't make a Christmas omelet without breaking a couple Christmas eggs, Curtis. You can't make Christmas nog without breaking a couple Christmas eggs.
I guess that's true.
Yeah, as Tom Nook would say.
I hope Tom Nook never says
he's
that.
always every time you walk in and Timmy and Tommy have to put down their cup of nog, you know what I mean? They like hide it because they're afraid it's their dad and he's gonna come in and yell at them. Like, game's crazy.
Oh man, that game is just. I mean, he just takes all. Tom Nook takes all the money, man. Spider-Man Miles Morales. I didn't realize this was a Christmas game.
It is not. There's a Christmas part of that game takes place at Christmas. That is actually true.
That is crazy.
Ooh. Is that game sick? Everybody makes it sound like that game is sick. Is that game sick?
It's a lot like the first one, but you play as Miles Morales instead of Peter
I
Parker.
mean, that sounds better.
Yeah, I like the story. The acting is really good. I think was. Did it come out? What, this year? Last year?
Yeah.
Was it last year?
Was it 2021 or was it 22?
Fact check.
Initial release November 12th, 2020.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. That makes
Surprise!
sense. That makes sense.
I think it came. I think it came out on PS5 recently. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. I recently went back and played 2018 Spider-Man, and I'm just a little underwhelmed by the game now. I don't know why. I think I'm
What do you
bit
think changed?
What do you think changed, Kurt? I don't know. It's like I was playing through the DLC, and I'm like, oh my god, everything is just so. It's the same. Every mission is the same. Go here, beat a couple bad guys up. Cinematic
after
scene.
A while, like especially after you complete the story, I feel like, it does sort of just kind of. I didn't mind it because for me the gameplay loop itself was just kind of like addictive. But yeah, after a while, there's only so many groups of bandits, robbing.
Yeah, and it's like the same button pressing. It's just like, okay, like there's you're doing the combos, but it's like, okay, press, circle to dodge or whatever. I haven't played it in a second, but like you just dodging, kicking butt, dodging. Where in, God of War, it's like you can string together some of the power moves that they have and stuff like that, and you can switch between three different weapons and stuff like that.
The camera gets right behind Kratos when you do it, so it was like you get the real cinematic view.
Oh, yeah, I thought we were talking about Spider-Man.
We are talking about Spider-Man.
Hold on.
It's just
Hold on. How many times does Spider-Man cut a guy in half?
You'd be surprised.
You're right. I would be super surprised.
Even if it was one, you would be very surprised.
It would be very surprising. Yeah, so I think it's run its course. So hopefully the new one that has gotten, I think it recently got announced or like there's like a release date floating around.
The actual Spider-Man 2 is coming out.
Was it next year? Yeah, sometime next year.
Oh yeah, because it's they showed that trailer at E3 maybe.
Oh no,
or something. They showed it at something this year, right?
I think it just kind of.
Was it just the Sony State of Play?
Yeah, I don't think there's E3 anymore. There's just advertising.
There wasn't. No, yeah. I mean, it's just the Game Awards now.
Yeah, I guess it's the Game Awards. Yeah, maybe it was announced there.
Oh well, moving on to that. If Walter, if you're ready to cry about God of War not winning, you could do it now. I'll wait. No, I'm just messing with you.
I'm already plotting my revenge, but silently.
Elden Ring ended up winning God of War. Ended up winning the Game of the Year.
The God of War award.
The God of War award, because I mean, God of War was doing really well. Elden Ring was, people like need to realize Elden Ring was doing well too. I mean, how good was Christopher Judge's
I was really
his
happy when I
speech.
turned on my PlayStation the other day, and because I forgot to watch the actual Game Awards, and it said. Over when I highlighted God of War, all the awards that it won, because I was happy that he got the award, that he won
against some really good voice acting, because we said the lady so good, and the lady that played Aloy did really well too.
Yes, she's really good too. I just because they're apparently Sony's. I think either somehow it seems like Sony is going to make like a live action version of it at some point of God of War.
Yes,
and there's a movement to get Christopher Judge to play him in the live action version. He really is that sized. They put him in a mocap suit and like filmed the cutscenes. And he's like really acting it out, and like
yeah.
I think it would
like
be
above
good too,
voice acting that I've seen in a video game.
Jake, do you think that?
That they should make a God of War show?
No, that Christopher Judge probably should play him.
I'm just saying, if they do a live action, they could have.
Yeah.
No, sure. I think it should be. Have you guys seen what the Big Show looks like lately? That guy's big as shit, and he could be Kratos. But I think it should probably be Christopher Judge. I think you're right.
I mean, I assume he looks like a large show.
He's a large lad.
He's
yeah.
just like, it's Kratos.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
Pyro coming out.
And then he comes out. He's got a big axe. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you know what?
He's got his things on
He
him.
got his things
you know what I
thangin',
mean?
yeah.
Yeah, he's got his things thangin'.
And he's just choke slam. You know what? That might work.
How high was Christopher Judge when he gave this 16-minute acceptance speech? Do you think? Like,
Was it 16
Like-
minutes long?
it was so long. Yeah, I wonder. Somebody knows, Chris.
I think he knew it was his
Judge.
moment, man. So he
Well, I'm
was
glad
he
had it,
soaked
you
it
know.
up.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I don't care if it was the worst thing ever. He deserved it.
Yeah.
8-minute long acceptance speech. So I doubled it in my head, but it felt like an eternity while we were watching it live. And
It did feel like
and
a
I
while.
think they should have let him go. I think they should just let him go because I think he could have kept talking for the whole show, and we didn't need to. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, what happened after that stands out to you? The Hades trailer they could have just dropped. Whatever. I think they should have had Christopher Judge talk for 1 to 2 real hours, and then split the middle of it with the Hades trailer. And then show
mid sentence.
yeah, and then show footage of him chasing down and hugging Al Pacino because he really wanted to meet Al Pacino. So.
That would have been kind of cool. They're just kind of yelling awards as he's talking, like
Yeah, perfect.
Forza wins best sports and racing game.
Right? Yeah.
I just love Corey Barlog.
Elden Ring. Brr, brr.
Just a tick in the
Um,
bottom, like when you're watching baseball or something that says he won.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah, throw the ticker up.
Yeah, just let him go.
Jake, what'd you think of that Hades trailer? You enjoyed it?
So Hades is probably my favorite game from the year Hades came out, which I don't remember off the top of my head.
I can
I
probably
wanna
tell
say it
you
was
right now. It is
2020
2022. I mean 2020. My bad. 2020. Hades came out 2020.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, because early access started in 2018. Yeah. So Hades is probably my favorite game of 2020. It is like a genre of game I don't really necessarily enjoy. Or I guess like I didn't previously. So like I didn't like Hyper Light Drifter. I didn't really like
But this
Yeah.
game put that type of
never-
genre on the map, though. It made it popular.
It just yeah. And so like when they first showed, and like I like other super massive games too. I liked Bastion.
Bastion was good, yeah.
I need to play Pyre, but I haven't because I'm a fake fan. But so when they showed the beginning of the trailer, I was like in Discord watching with my buds, and we were like, "Oh, it's Hades 2," like, and then it was Hades 2, and we were like, "Oh shit!" Like,
Oh,
hell yeah. So like, yeah, man, like I'll play another Hades. That game
Okay.
ripped. The character designs, like, they're incredibly good at designing characters and writing for characters, and that combat feels really good. Yeah, I'm really excited for that game. Like, that's like the one thing I really took away from the Game Awards. was, like,
Voltaire, what did you think
Google
about?
just sent me a notice saying that we're going to get cut off in 10 minutes.
Okay, good. I'm glad you noticed that because I was like, oh, and then I clicked on it and I was like,
Damn it.
I'm not about to pay for premium. Like, real quick, Death Stranding, Voltaire. What'd you think of that? Because you're the Death
When I
Stranding
think of
guy.
that game, I love that game. I love it so much.
But the sequel, they announced the sequel.
What about Death Stranding
Did
2?
they really announced the sequel? Because I saw people posting like.
You don't know?
the hoax.
Can we hold on? Can we live react to the
Is that possible? Because I'm down for that. Because
Okay.
the possibility of it.
Possibility of it, yeah.
Wakes me up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat.
Death
crying out to the moon.
Stranding 2 trailer.
I'm just gonna have to in the call real quick and then put y'all back in here.
It's 4 minutes long. Hold on, is there in-call message? Here's the Kojima Productions 4-minute long trailer for Death Stranding 2. Parentheses working title, because apparently they might just change the name of this one if they're feeling saucy.
Okay.
Okay. So when are we just all started at once, or what are we doing? Or you just want me to react to it?
Yeah. Go ahead. I
No,
got it up.
no. Let's all watch it. Let's all watch it.
Yeah, I got
Let's
it
all
up
watch
right now. It's in 3 different boxes, but yeah.
You want to count us in? I'm at the beginning.
I'm dumb. I'm over here watching it, and I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Am I doing it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna count down from 3. Okay.
All right.
3, 2, 1, play. This may contain content. Oh shit, it's gone. You're a kid. That's where you should not watch this film.
This is going to contain content.
This trailer does. Be careful. This trailer does contain content.
What?
All right, I'm watching it now.
So this is another trailer where like we were joking at first about this and being like, is this actually Death Stranding 2 or is this just like, or is this just like the next Kojima game and this is just what they're all gonna look like now?
Right.
Because like nothing about this really ties to Death Stranding except for the lines on the messages. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not initially, at least.
Because Norman Reedus, of course, makes a return.
Well, spoilers, bro. Spoilers.
I did just kind of spoil that. That's why I kind of stopped for a second, and I was like, "Oh, never mind."
It's fine. I'm not listening to you at all. I'm always blown away by how realistic games look nowadays.
Yeah, especially that trailer.
I've never been like a super like graphics like focused person, but this is really impressive.
Talk us through it, man. What you see?
Yeah, how you feeling?
So is that Fragile from the first game?
I don't know. You know, I didn't play that one.
I don't think so. I think she is a new.
Oh, okay.
Because she's a different. She's a real actress who is not in Death Stranding.
Okay. And she's like that's like a full on baby, you know?
Yeah, that's like a baby. That's like a baby. That's like a full on baby.
Baby.
Now hold on. Here's your favorite baby though.
It's the baby.
That's BB, which might be short for baby. It's hard to say.
I think it is baby.
It's hard to say.
Yeah. It's like Mario.
That's funny.
It's like Mario. Yeah, you're right.
Whoa. So then it just kind of like materialized back in the little.
Well, so hold on, because here's DualShock 2.
I can't believe they made a DualShock 2.
Yep. More money.
Now, when this happened, I thought we might see his hog. You know what I mean?
Oh, we will.
He's got. Well, yeah. I mean, like, hopefully in the game we do, but like
Absolutely.
not in the trailer. They wouldn't give that away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Spoiler alert.
They motion capped his hog intricately. They don't want to give that art away, you know. Is this like the Metal Gear?
Come join my crew, Sam. Clearly, there's much more death for you to strand.
More death for you to strand.
A death.
Oh my goodness. Did you not watch that, Voltaire? You didn't see that?
No. I've been in like a hole of getting the album released and not paying.
Oh yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that was good. Well,
this guy's got like a weird.
Like an electric guitar.
Yeah, and like he's got like a BB holder, but it's got just all of his body tubes in it. You know what I mean?
I do. I feel it.
More death to strand.
Weird.
Yeah, so that's Splatoon 4.
That's Splatoon. That's a teaser for because he had 4
That's a teaser
tentacles.
for Splatoon 4. Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Voltaire, now that you've seen the real deal, how do you feel?
I just I have to go cry, you know?
Cry.
And then pray to my shrine to Hideo Kojima, obviously.
Both of these are good.
Healthy things to do. No, that was crazy though, because now I'm gonna just nerd out over all of the possibilities of what any of that could possibly have fucking meant. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's what he was saying during the Game Awards. He's like, fans are gonna have to just keep watching the trailer to pick up little things.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's what he's usually good at. He does that all the time.
Can you believe it? I can't believe Hideo Kojima would come out with a trailer that is, as it says, as beautiful as it is horribly confusing.
Very confusing.
And
Well, the
there's gonna
first
be
one was
60
very
more of
confusing.
them before the
Just
game comes out in
absolutely bad.
2026. So.
Oh.
I'll just be like, oh, yeah. I mean, it's story's actually fairly coherent. To be honest.
All right, you guys. Because Google wants to kick us out. We have 3 minutes to go. It's Google that wants to kick us
The
out.
landlord is evicting us.
Yeah, he's like, yo, you've been in here way too long. My name is Curtis. You can follow me at Callie from the Dojo. It's there at the bottom of the screen. You also have ArtistSaif V_Slapadelic, who just released a beat tape today.
Yep.
Got to go check it out. Where can they find it, man?
It's gonna be right now. It's mostly on Spotify, and it's on. You have to hurry at least that much. And slapadelic.com, and it's all like classical music. It's sort of like my version of different classical music songs.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Presents because it's Christmas time, and yeah.
Sounds dope. It does sound
Acted
dope.
as if I had more to say, but honestly, just go listen to it.
I listened to a few tracks and I was like, yo, it's funny how it's classical music and it's getting like this Voltaire slapadelic like revamp on it. Like it's so dope. We also had Jake Jacobson. Man, where can they find you on Twitter, and what have you been doing besides SGO stuff? Where can they find you on streaming and stuff
You
like
should not find me on Twitter because you should just leave that terrible dying website. But if you're still there for some reason, I'm at TH3 composer. I have taken the arduous task of playing the game Persona 5 one in-game day at a time because it lines up with our Gregorian calendar in the year 2022. If you want to follow along with that, you can watch all 260 plus episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/th3mastercomposer. This sounds like an elaborate bit, but this is a real thing I'm doing. Or you can watch me play it live on days where I don't work at twitch.tv/DTJcomposer. Thank you for having me, Curtis. This has been a pleasure.
Hey man, it's been great. Make sure you guys subscribe to the Soul Dojo Gaming channel, and we'll check you guys later. All right, peace.
Peace out, y'all.
Oh man, appreciate you being on because I really wanted to
This
talk
is
video
fun.
games with you.
That was really fun. Yeah.
Yeah. It would be really fun to do this again sometime. So.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, definitely.
We do it bi-weekly too, so I'll see you on the press pass.
I see how we're doing this now.
Yep.
All right.
I'll see you on the press
Yeah.
pass. All I'm doing is podcasting. Lord.
Yeah.
This is about to kick us. So
This call's about to end.
Yeah. It's like
It was, gentlemen, it was an honor.
yeah, man, it was nice talking to y'all.
I hope they saw that on the stream when it popped up and said ending in 10 minutes.
I don't think they did.
It was very funny though. Yeah. All right. Goodbye. This was
Bye.
fun.
Oh my god.